Good evening, everyone. This is January 2016 of Unit 1 IAL Physics. In this session, I'll discuss MCQs related to the paper. If you want me to solve any structure question, you can leave that question number in a comment. The first question: physical quantities are either scalar or vector. Select a row of the table which correctly identify the scalar and the vector quantities. The scalar quantity, when we check this row, this column, so force is a vector, mass is a scalar, time is also a scalar, and velocity is a vector. And here velocity vector, time scalar, force vector, and mass is scalar. So the column which is correct, time is scalar and force is vector. The row which is correct, time is scalar and force is vector, that is C. A car is towed by a truck using a rope. The car is pulled at a constant speed, creating a tension. The horizontal forces acting on the car are shown. The magnitude of the force exerted by the truck on the car. So the magnitude of the force which is exerted by the truck on the car, that is equals to T. The resultant force on the car will be T minus F, but the force which is exerted by the truck on the car, that's equal to tension. So C is the right answer. A girl dropped a stone into an empty well. She heard a sound of a stone hitting the bottom of the well after 4 seconds. So what is the depth? So we'll use the equation of motion to AS is equals to V square minus U square, but we don't know the final velocity, so that's why we can use S is equals to UT plus half AT square, in which acceleration for falling object free fall motion expression is due to gravity. So an initial velocity, it's 0, so this factor will be not be there, so it will be S is equals to 1 by 2 GT square. So S is equals to 1 by 2, gravity is 9.8 and the time 4, so 4 square 16 multiplied by 9.8 divided by 2, that's equal to C, or 80 will be the right answer. Select a row of the table correctly matches the property of a material to which type of deformation it experiences. So brittle object, it can undergo elastic deformation. This is right, but this is not correct. Brittle object, it can undergo elastic, and plastic, no, it should be like no or very small plastic deformation should be there. So that this column, this row is correct. That's why B is the right answer. For malleable, elastic deformation, yes, it should be yes here if it was right. And for malleable, yes, and this should also be yes. But for brittle object, no or very small plastic deformation, an object can break. For question 5, the gravitational field strength of a Jupiter is 2.6 times greater than the gravitational field strength of Earth. The weight of 10 kg of matter on Jupiter would be approximately, so W is equals to mg, so m is 10 and g is 2.6 into g, because it's 2.6 times the gravitational field strength, so it will be 10 into 2.6 into 9.8. So when we multiply 26 into 9.8, which is approximately 260, so D will be the right answer. A spring of length 5 centimeters suspended from a retort stand. When a mass of 0.03 kilogram is added, the length of a spring doubles. So if the length of the spring doubles, if it is 5 centimeter or 0.05 meter, so it will become 0.1 meter. And what is the extension? Because if length is double, like originally, it's the formula to calculate the energy stored in the spring force and extension graph and area under the graph. So it is half force into extension. So half the force which we are applying, that's equal to 0, the weight. So 0.03 multiplied by 9.81 and times the extension. How much increase in length is there? Because if it is originally 0.05 centimeter and then it become 1.1 meter. So the extension is 0.05. So this will be 0.05. So D will be the right answer. A student takes measurement for a piece of copper wire. The student uses a value to calculate the density or the corrected value for this. So when we check the number of the significant figures, the reliable digits, so we have diameter, length and mass. So when the student should state the density as what he should state the density to two significant figure, because we have three significant figure, two significant figure. So we'll select the smallest one. So into two significant figure, that's why D is the right answer. Because this answer, many significant figure, four significant, 3 and 2. So our value 3 and 2, so 2 is also there. The smallest value is in two significant figure. So final answer should be according to the smallest value, smaller number of significant figures. That's why D is the right answer. Question 8 and 9. Which of the above graph could obtain for this experiment? So the experiment is the force is applied to a spring and spring extended. The new length of a spring is recorded. So originally the spring will have some length and then it will stretch. For a Hooke's law, force and extension are directly proportional, because so that's why which graphs are correct. Originally it will start with certain length and then it will stretch, and extension it starts with 0 and it increases proportional. So C is the right answer. The graph could show that the spring is obeying Hooke's law, elastically deformed, limit of proportionality being compressed. So these graphs shows that the spring is obeying a Hooke's law because it is a straight line. In question 10, a car travel 90 meter east and then 50 meter north, the vector diagram. So we have this compass, north, south, east, west. So it travel 90 meter east and then it travel 50 meter north. From tail of the first to the head of the last, that will be our resultant. So which represent the resultant? These correctly shows the direction of resultant. So this was January 2016, Unit 1 of IAL Physics. If you have any doubt in the structure question, you can leave the question in a comment and I will solve that.